All right, and we are alive, America. The doors are wide open, and we're ready for each and every one of you to virtually come in and be a part of the conversation with us tonight. Thank you for joining us here at Gay Town Hall, bringing LGBTQ voices into the discussion and debate and advertising you with America's most diverse group of personalities from the LGBTQ community in history. I'm your moderator, David Quiñones, also known as the Social Club Butterfly. I serve as the executive director of my own personal nonprofit organization, GVSC Gay Vista Social Club, here building friendships across South Florida, as well as the director of community and business outreach here at Happening Out Television Network. Because if it's happening in the LGBTQ world, it is happening out. We here at Gay Town Hall want you to join the conversation with us live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. as we broadcast to you on Facebook and YouTube, and start following us on our newest platforms, Twitter and LinkedIn. Let's get tonight's discussions and debate started, America, here on Thursday, March 25th. Welcome, everybody, to Gay Town Hall. All right, so I am thrilled to welcome Gay Town Hall's lead host for tonight's conversation. Born Dale Wilson, he is a DJ and renowned performing artist, an entertainer who lip syncs to dance music at clubs and circuit events in semi-drag, often with a shaved head. His outrageous costumes, dancing skills, and choreography have made him an icon in the circuit scene. He is an original host on the world's most popular gay TV show from the gayest place on planet Earth, It's Happening Out. He is the diva and creator of Tampa Bay's largest talent contest, Queen of the Night. He is also the host of the television show Infiniti, broadcasting live on Facebook when they lift their lockdown yet again, and is one of the greatest LGBTQ political liberal voices in America. His worst attributes are he don't forgive, and his best attributes are he don't forget. So without further ado, let's please welcome Gay Town Hall's lead host, our hybrid DJ Diva, Power Infiniti. Hey, Power, hey. And there was lights, camera, action.
What's the going ons, children? What's the going ons?
How was that introduction? I mean, there was so much I could have gotten into, but you know how to keep it short and sweet, you know.
You know, yes, we gotta keep it moving. Let's get the show on the road.
All right. So, Power, you know, in true tradition of Paris is burning, you want to tell us what's on your mind for this week?
Well, first of all, hey, Michelle, I love you down. I'm thinking of you. Much love to my friend, Michelle. And, you know, what's on my mind is, once again, gun control is front and center. And, you know, I think that it's very important to remember that a lot of people have this idea that, you know, everybody is out to get their guns. No, you're afraid that we're going to take your guns, and we're afraid that your guns are going to take our children. You know, your fears of getting your guns taken away are unfounded. We haven't taken any of your guns, yet your guns have taken away many children and many lives. So this is a discussion that needs to be had, and a solution that needs to be gained once and for all.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, it's your show. You can keep going.
Let the other children come through.
All right. Let's bring our other children in. And we're going to start our week off with the top voices of the week. It's time to kick off Gay Town Hall the way we do each and every week and find out what is on your mind. So each of our hosts will express what's on their mind today and tell us about it, good or bad, in just 30 seconds. And since tonight's theme is based on taboos, if you could erase one word from history, what would it be? So, Power, before I bring them in, what word would you erase from history?
Nigga.
Erase one word. What was it?
Nigga.
You heard it, everyone. I gotta repeat it. You heard it. You heard it here first. All right, so let's bring in our first host. He is a #1 Amazon best-selling author. Let's bring in Dwight Allen O'Neill. Hey, Dwight.
Hey, hello. Greetings, celebrities and friends. How are you? Happy Thursday.
Thanks for being here. Tell us what's on your mind, and if you could erase one word from history, what would it be and why?
Selfishly, what's on my mind today is actually meat. I have been doing a green juice fast, and I am just craving a big piece of meat. Yeah. I guess both, considering I've been doing a green juice fast. I'm pretty empty inside. But
are we talking T-bone steak? Are we calling fall off the bone rib? Are we talking chorizo? What kind of meat we talking?
I mean, I'm open to any at this point. Could even be a man, but no. A word I'd want to erase from history, though, would be faggot. Yeah, F word, faggot.
All righty then. Thank you so much. Up next, we have our critically acclaimed stand-up comedian. Let's please welcome Freddie Stebbins. Hey, Freddie.
Hey, guys. How are you doing? Good to see you.
Hey.
I would say this kind of goes along the lines of what Power mentioned with guns, but what's on my mind this week is Asian, the bias, the hatred against Asians. And I have family members that are Asian, and I'm very sensitive to it. And I think that I really just blame this hatred, this bias against Asians on just pure ignorance. I mean, if you can't figure out that this is based purely on ignorance and misinformation, then you're part of the problem in many ways. And also, it's kind of related to. It goes into when we talk about what happened with the massacre in Atlanta with these Asian Americans, which might have been just a deviant, a freak guy, but it might also be, it makes me ask the question about why are Asians working in sex industry, right? No one's talking about that right now. And isn't there an underlying issue of sex trafficking going on in this country and in the world? These are issues I think that this terrible crisis has brought up. Also, what word would I get rid of? I don't know. Trump.
Power's your new best friend.
That's a great name, golden name. Everyone should have it.
Oh my God, that's an amazing impersonation.
There's only two people in the world that can do it: Freddie Stebbins and the Vivian.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in our next host. He is a non-culture identity from Sawmills Camp and Resort. Let's please welcome John Holt. Hey, John.
Hey. Hi, everyone. What's on my mind tonight is I got my first COVID-19 shot yesterday. So I'm looking forward to being able to travel this summer once I get my second one. So I see freedom coming near. And
so you will do extra frolicking in the woods is what you're saying?
Yes. Well, I want to travel. I want to actually cruise this summer. So hopefully I can make that happen. And
the real cruising. Got it.
Yeah. The second thing that's on my mind, speaking of Sawmill, is this weekend is Leather Pup Mosh weekend. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the leather pups show up this weekend. I wouldn't because words are symbols of ideas. There is no word that I would want to get rid of in history or take away. I mean, I think words have consequences, and you should bear the consequences of using words and ideas. But I certainly would never just get rid of any.
Got it. All right. Thank you, John. Up next, we have our progressive college English professor. I think he's in the library with a glass of wine or a candlestick. Let's please welcome Dr. Ty Hauser. Hey, girl, hey.
It's gin, honey. It's gin.
Oh, it's gin tonight. All right. Extra classy.
Mother's ruin for Dr. Hauser. So what's on my mind this week is that David Quiñones is in a hotel room, and I want to know where the trick is. David?
No trick. No trick.
All right. And I'm going to say, much like John, I think that words are powerful, and they all have a time and a place. Some of them bad timing and bad placement, and some of them are very bad words, but they exist for a reason because they're there to express ideas. The word I would get rid of, though, is irregardless, because it's not a word and everyone uses it.
Oh my
All
God.
right. So
Darn it.
Ty is our Rossaroni tonight, everyone.
That was
All
very
right.
funny.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Ty. Up next, we have our queer community builder and transformative healer. Let's welcome the beautiful Taisha Bess. Hey, Taisha.
Hey everyone, good evening, welcome aboard. Taisha here. What's on my mind is I want to talk about how the community, especially the BIPOC community, can separate their sympathy and empathy for the Asian massacre and still, at a later time, ask for more allyship from Asian allies when it comes to Black struggle and Black oppression and discrimination. I've had and witnessed several conversations to where there's been several people in the Black community who feel that they almost as if like, well, Asians are not adjacent or in any shape or form to the Black struggle. It's just very alarming about the lack of empathy and sympathy. Like, yes, what happened is terrible. I feel for the Asian. We need to stop Asian hate. And also, I do understand the need to have these conversations about why Asians can do better about aligning themselves with people who are darker than them. As far as what word to get rid of, I actually don't think any word should be erased from history because some words remind us of where we were and why we should not still be there and why we should not repeat history. In other words, like loquacious and effervescent are just fun to have and speak about. But I actually am not. I don't want to get into anything. It's not my jam.
So we're pretty split tonight. Half say don't get rid of a word. Half of them got the word right off the bat. All right. And finally, our newest host joining us here at Gay Town Hall. He is a college student.
Say it ain't so.
Oh, Ty, get ready, get ready. He's a college student working on his bachelor's in biology. Dr. Ty Hauser is not his professor. He has a certification in drug counseling and is sex positive. He identifies as a recovery junkie who enjoys long walks on the beach and trashy sci-fi books. Could it be Ty? Let's welcome young Robert. Hey, Robert.
Young Robert.
Hello. I'm still gagged over Freddie's impersonation. Oh my God. I was laughing my ass off at that. I could watch that for hours.
He'll be here all night.
I'm still much more excited now. So what is on my mind? I'm gonna try to be positive. And that's Joe Biden's new plan for 200 million vaccine rollout, which it's so refreshing to see a president who exceeds his original expectations. I mean, and that goal for May 1st, wow. I mean, we might actually be getting back to normal maybe by, he said, the 4th of July. So there you go. But irregardless, the word that I would get rid of would be probably hate. And then if possible, I would hope to double the amount of the word love in the world.
All right. Young Robert has spoken. Remember, Freddie's making him happy, not Ty. So Ty, you gotta get your impersonation ready for the end of the night.
Oh, Ty's always my favorite.
Well, with that being said, young Robert was the tiebreaker here. In that even split of words being gotten rid of versus none. So we won. So thank you.
All right, 1 point for Team Power. All right, so let's get this as my power. Let's get the show on the road. Here on Gay Town Hall, you may have questions, and we definitely want to hear and see your answers. We want you, our social media viewing audience, to let your voice be heard and weigh in on what we're talking about. So now it is time for our weekly Gay Town poll. So all of our hosts have cast their votes in already. For our viewers watching at home who want to participate, click on the links that's posted in tonight's episode and submit your answers. Later on, before the end of the show, we will share the results visually on the screen and see which answer was the winner. So make sure to cast your votes in now. So tonight's Gay Town poll is, what is the most common taboo prevalent in human society? So the choices are this is quite a list: abnormal sexual relationships, bodily functions, cannibalism, corpses, eating carnivorous animals, food and drink, incest, interracial sex and interreligion marriages, murder, and suicide. So, which book is the one sitting on the shelf and not to be spoken about? What do you guys think?
Well, I've seen all of those in a bathhouse, and so
Is this the Fort Lauderdale one?
yeah, same.
Club Orlando, Club Aqua? Which?
Yeah. I think you have a very impressive list here. And I would say, look, I'm going to I'm not only a comedian, I'm also a sociology professor, which is very similar, by the way.
I can see the relationship.
Yeah. So I talk about this with my students once a semester, and I'm going to say murder. However, you can make the point, as we do in sociology, that every taboo, whether you like it or not, is reflective of culture and what the norms and the folkways are of that culture. So, we can say that cannibalism is disgusting, but in many countries in the world, they do traits and rituals that involve consuming the ashes of ancestors. And, it's what I'm saying is I can't really pick one, but I'd say murder is the one that's most prevalent today. That's mine.
All right. So Freddie will be teaching How to Get Away with Murder, Volume 2, coming up next semester. So we're going to stay tuned to the end of the episode, and we're going to see what answer is chosen. Please, if you're watching the episode, make sure you go ahead and vote in our Gaytown poll, and we'll show the answers at the end of the night. With that said, today's LGBTQ topics of the week deal with the theme of taboo. So Power, I think it's time to open the library officially and let the children know the exact definition of the word. So Power, would you like to go ahead and tell the children what is the definition of taboo?
Well, yes, before we commence with this episode, it's important to note that what we're doing is unpacking not just things that are taboo, but conversations and topics that are taboo, especially when it comes to the LGBT community. So the textbook definition of taboo is a social or religious custom prohibiting or forbidding discussion of a particular practice or forbidding association or participation with a particular person, place, or thing. That is the textbook definition of taboo. So I just think it's important to keep that in mind as we unpack the rest of this episode.
All right. And by textbook, she means the dictionary. Power's dictionary. Right. All right. So let's jump right into our first LGBTQ topic of the week. Category is lifestyle and cultural. And our taboo word number 1 is religion. And Power, could you take us through our topic number 1?
Yes, I can. Thank you. The very subject of religion in the LGBT community is in and of itself a controversial one, and for many is taboo. Many that scream and shout inclusivity and open, diversity, openly persecute and ridicule those in the gay community that are people of faith. So the question is, why is religion and faith such a taboo in our community, and what can be done about it?
All right. So we're going to keep the tradition going that we tried last episode. Everyone's going to get a quick, fast, rapid round of 30 seconds each, and then we're going to open it up for discussion. So with that said, John Holt, 30 seconds on the clock, and go.
Okay. Well, I mean, from a Christian point of view, obviously, in the Bible, there are things that have been used against homosexuals. And a lot of the politics in the United States has been Christians using their religion against homosexuals. So it really has pitted homosexuals against the Christians and as a religious sect. So I would say that's why you see gays reacting poorly to Christian religion.
All right, Ty, you're up.
So Marx called religion the opiate of the people, and the reason that he called it that is because it's what distracts us from the truth. And the reason why the LGBTQ community is distracted from the truth is because religion has kept us from being ourselves. I wish it was not a taboo subject, because it's something that we should be able to unpack, because if we actually study the Bible, if we actually study the linguistics and the words of it, we actually are accepted by it.
All right. Taisha, your turn.
I think my comment on this would be there's a difference between religion and spirituality. I think most of those who are conservative Christians only practice the religion of Christianity. They don't practice the spirituality of Christianity, which is the actual application as an individual in your personal life. So with religion, they gather in mass, and whoever has the most popular thought is what rides. And right now, the GOP on Christianity is what's leading the charge. So I'm not surprised that the LGBT community is very worried about what's going on concerning it.
All right, Freddie.
Well, going on what Ty said, there's no doubt that religion is, by many ways, it's reflective of culture. It's reflective of different. Sadly, with the 5 largest religions in the world today, at least with 3 of them, it's reflective of the more industrialist culture that we've seen over the last 2,000 years. In other words, culture has expressed and rebuffed homosexuality, and I think that's why we see it in religion. Now, if you go, there are religions before these last 2,000 years that were more inclusive of homosexuality. So it depends on the culture.
All right, Dwight.
So when it comes to religion, to be honest, there really hasn't been a space for our community. I have to agree with Ty where it comes to spirituality, and more so, I encourage us to have relationships with the higher power and with God, because religion just has really left a very bad taste in most of our lives and in our mouths. So there hasn't really been a space of acceptance. But if we remember that, Jesus always talked about love and practiced that. And when we practice love and reminding ourselves that love is so important, we have to remember that God is love and God will always love us.
All right, last one, young Robert.
Well, growing up Christian, going to Catholic school and everything like that, I was very, very, very repressed, and I saw firsthand pretty much how all these conservative groups kind of hold us back and everything, and what they teach us, and pretty much if any sort of gay behavior would send you directly to the principal's office, and you'd be scolded, and, oh my goodness, and you wouldn't even be allowed back. It was terrible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so what I think can be done is is just kind of using their religion against them in a way, and just kind of showing love. Like, I go to Sunshine Cathedral all the time, and that's a very open church. It's a gay church. Reverend Jarrell Watkins is there, and it's amazing. It helped reinvigorate my faith. And also the higher up, like the Pope right now, is pretty much pro-gay marriage, or at least kind of. He's working on it, so it's coming along.
He's waffling a bit.
Yeah.
He's waffling.
He's
All right. So now we have 5 minutes of open discussion. Who else wants to take this to the floor? Power, you have anything you want to add, or let the boys and ladies and everyone else take it?
I'll talk at the end.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Who else wants to add to this?
Well, I mean, I don't think all religions are, a problem in this area. I don't know. I mean, it could just be conservative, fundamental parts of religion. Obviously, the way religion is brought out into culture and into politics currently is the issue. I would think that religion has been good for societies and culture over time. I mean, there's a lot of evolutionary culturists that believe that the societies that have survived are the ones who have had religion. So there are some very good points to having religion in society and in culture. The question is, why pick some parts, why leave other parts alone, and how it's interpreted. So, I mean, right now, the Christians are just using it to beat gays over the head and a lot of other things to make society too conservative.
I'd like to say, I think we need to understand, along with what some of the other panelists have said, is that religion seems to discriminate equally in many ways. If you look at religion, it's pretty bad against women too, in case you haven't noticed that.
Oh yeah,
very patriarchal. There's in many religions, including in Islam and Christianity, there's open discussion of, when it's okay to stone your slaves. My point being is you can't take these manuscripts literally and base them in today's standards. Once again, religion seems to reflect the culture of its time. And I agree with the previous panelist. There are some religions, especially in the Native American community, that are very embracing of homosexuality. In fact, many of the shamans that we see in Native American tribes tended to be gay men. And so I think the world needs to open its mind, but sadly it's very slow in happening.
I know for me personally, I try not to prescribe into religion, but more so spirituality and having a spiritual relationship with God and connection. Because when you think of religion, that's man-made, and that's, the ideation behind that comes from different men. Like, even when I look at the Bible, I used to talk to my mom and I'm like, why am I believing this word when it's been passed down from generation to generation from people that I'm trusting that God said this to, when I feel that God is telling me something different within my heart. So I'm speaking from, Christianity, that's how I grew up. But I think that when you work on having your own relationship and working on your spirituality and your connection with the higher being in the universe that's around you, that, ultimately you'll be led in the direction that you need to be. So.
All right. Yeah. So
I think this is the last 2 points are very good points. Baby. Yes?
Yeah, go, Ty.
The last 2 points are very good points because what it essentially has defined is that religion is what constricts, right, spirituality. Because the shaman from the Native American religions, those weren't religions per se. They were spiritual awarenesses. They were personal growth things. They were community based. And the religions that have emerged are what limit those kinds of experiences. So it's the limitation that is the problem.
All right, and Power, for your final thoughts on this topic.
Well, understandably, religion as a whole scares a lot of people in our community, and understandably so. I mean, look at the history of religion when it comes to the LGBTQ community. But what if I told you that not every, denomination is the same? Everybody keeps mentioning Christians. You do realize that there are many different denominations within the Christian umbrella. And I think that what we are charged to do, if you're somebody that is a person of faith, is not to look to religion or look to a person for your spiritual guidance, but actually search, like Ty was saying, if you actually took the time to read the Bible. Search for yourselves. Search the Bible. Please remember that when Jesus hung on the cross, he hung between two thieves. And at the very last, one of the thieves turned around and said, "Please remember me in your kingdom." That thief didn't have religion. He didn't have a church. He had not even been baptized. It was only through his relationship with Christ that Jesus said, "Today I tell you that you will be with me in paradise," and he was saved. So it wasn't religion that saved him. It was his personal connection to Christ. Also, I would like to say, and I'm not getting paid for this, but just for anybody that wants to know, there is actually a book. It's called Unclobber. It's written by a guy named Colby Martin. And it is a book that actually dives into the Bible and all those passages that we call clobber passages. Clobber passages are the passages that are always used against our community and that clobber us over the head with how bad homosexuality is, blah, blah, blah. He actually dives into the Bible and goes into all those passages and actually gives a rethinking and analyzes those passages so that you see that really the Bible does not speak against homosexuality and does not speak against the LGBTQ community, but in fact embraces and speaks with love and unification. So I think that it's important for us to search for ourselves and not to look to religion or man for our spiritual guidance.
All right. So let's give a round of applause for topic number 1, the taboo of religion. I remember, if you guys want to keep the conversation going, message each other comment-wise, share your thoughts. All right, so we're moving out of topic number one, and we're going to move on to our next segment. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to have a few laughs, even some good side commentary. If it's happening in the news, if it's hot off the press and out is the new in, then it's time for our happening out headlines. All right, so for today's breaking news story, hybrid DJ Diva and political activist Power Infiniti has had it, I said, with not being able to express their true opinions and saying what others are afraid to talk about and landing in social media, quote unquote, jail. He has decided to leave all social media platforms and talk about his experiences in a brand new book. A book about all going against the grain and doing what some may consider to be a taboo. What did Power decide to call what critics are calling a taboo? Well, you guys decide. So today's happening out headline. Power Infiniti has decided to leave all social media platforms and talk about his experiences in a brand new book that critics are calling a taboo. A book of taboos that is called blank. All right, so I'll give you a few seconds to write that. You like what I did there? Taboo, book, put it together. I came up with a new word. I see it.
You did. You did.
I did. All right, raise your hands when you guys are done, when you guys have your answers. All right. And Robert's busy writing away. Dwight is writing the first, what is it called? The epilogue of Power's book? Okay.
Prologue.
The title is about Power's book on taboos.
Yes. She's gonna reveal it all about the social media jail. She's gonna tell you all the book. Everything that was banned on social media is going in one book.
Wait, David, I'm sorry, but what's the question again that we have to look up? I'm confused.
The name of the book. What would the name of this book of taboos be called?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The book.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Got it? All right. So Ty looks ready. So let's start with the professor. All right, Ty.
You know, I apologize because I don't have my Sharpie in front of me, but in the last 30 seconds I had to change the title, but here it is. It's Unclobbered, Al Ferguson and Other Dinners I Should have.
Okay, segment's over. The winner has been chosen.
I don't even want to write mine.
John, you better have a good one, John, for after that one.
I thought he made me see God, but now I've actually found God.
Oh, okay. All right. Cutesy. All right. Taisha, what you got for Power?
I ain't got nothing. Skip me, gosh.
Oh. Dwight, you're up.
You say taboo. I said what I said.
Man.
We got a strong contender.
That's exactly
all right.
what I said.
Oh, wait. Do we have a copycat?
We're vibing. We're obviously vibing.
Oh my god, I love it.
Wait,
My twin.
We have breaking news. Dwight has been accused of plagiarism.
I went Michelle, that's Melania.
Cameras in here or something. I don't know what he put in there.
All right, ready. Ready.
I'm not ready. Go to the next person.
Oh, Taisha gonna yell at me again.
No. I'm just gonna say the title of his book is Powered Down because I like everyone else's titles better, so I don't even want to write anything.
But I like that, like bow down. Like Madonna had to take a bow. This is bow down. All right. Last but not least, the funny man.
Okay.
He's like I am.
All right, I'm writing.
The book is going into publication already as we wait.
Okay. What happens in Power's world stays in Power's world.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's all I can come up with. They're not paying me.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. So Power, why don't you review?
You know the vision I just got from that title.
What?
Of course, nasty.
It's a taboo.
We already
You know,
went out the
the-
window a long time ago, Power. Just do it.
But the winner was actually going to be Ty, because I love that book title the best. But I do have to say that the ones that got it closest to what I actually wrote was young Robert and Dwight, because my title would have been Bitch, I Said It, and What?
Great
But
mind.
just
Take a
to be
look.
clear, I still won, right?
Just to be clear, what?
So our
still won.
runner-ups are Dwight and young
said what he
Robert,
said.
but the winner
I do have a
is.
backup one.
Do I get it
We'll
right?
we'll give
You gotta space out.
the winner was Ty, because his title was even better than what I originally would have put.
And Ty, do you have a space on that bookshelf already for the book when it comes out?
I'm pretty sure it's a small book, so I can make room.
And we're sorry.
That sounds like fighting words to me. So you should make me and young Robert the winner.
Yeah,
I
I agree too.
Well done.
Actually, now the book title is how to win a prize and lose it in one fair swoop.
So,
That's right. I said what I said.
here at Queen of the Night, unfortunately, we claimed the wrong winner. The actual winner is a tie between young Robert and Dwight. Congratulations.
I feel like Miss Universe that you're the Steve Harvey.
That's right. I was about to say I'm feeling very Steve Harvey.
Yeah. And what was your runner-up, young Robert? You said you had another option?
What? The Gospel of Power.
Oh,
I like that.
I love it.
gospel. All right,
I like
I'm feeling
one,
that.
actually, yeah. I can
Power.
see
Now
that.
make sure whoever title Power goes with, you get 10% of all copywriting and and profits and all that and everything. So.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's give a round of applause for our happening now headlines. Right. Woo. All right. So now we're gonna move to my favorite segment of the show. A surprise question was submitted specifically chosen for and was directed towards our lead host. That person who submitted the video question will then appear as a special guest host. So let's please welcome our latest segment, which is called our Alive Question of the Day. So, of course, I think I do a pretty good job of choosing our questions for our lead host. So tonight I have a special one just for Power Infinity, and we hope that they can appear as on a future episode of Gay Town Hall. So, Power, you ready to see who I got for you?
Yes.
All right. I think I did real good the first time around. So let's see who our video question is of today.
Hey guys, Sean Palacios, aka Kitty Meow here. I have a question for you, and it's your question of the day. How old do you believe an LGBTQ individual should be before having sex for the first time? Should we be teaching them abstinence, safe sex?
Oh my God. I love
For
that.
you, Power.
Good question.
My Bristol, my sister. All right.
I do it right. I did it good. I did good.
Yeah. You didn't suck.
Debatable.
That means she loves it.
My stage partner, Kitty Meow. So, how old do I think that somebody should be before they have sex? Well, I think they should certainly be of legal age. I think that they should be of legal age. I mean, if I had my way, if I had a child, I would want them to be, maybe 18, 19 at the very least. But certainly, I don't believe in kids having sex, before they're of legal age, with somebody that's older than them. And do I think that we should be teaching sex education at a young age? Absolutely. Now that I think should be taught as young as possible, because I think knowledge is power. And I think that education really is a preventative for a lot of problems, with regards to teen pregnancy, with regards to STIs, and just responsible living. So I would say that everybody's maturity level is different. And some people mature, faster than others. But, I don't know if I can give a certain regimented age as far as when somebody should start coming into their own and flowering, but certainly I think that they should be old enough to know what they're doing. And, I think it should be of legal age.
And Power, just because I'm sure the viewers are dying to know, are you able or allowed to say when your flower came into bloom?
Actually, I was a virgin until I was 20.
Oh.
I didn't have sex until I was 20, and I've never had sex with a woman, so.
Wow. Gold star gay.
Yes.
Half of that's true of me, Power.
Which part?
I only said half.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's give a huge round of applause for our live video questionnaire of the day. And let's hope Sean Palacios, come on, Sean. Come on to the show as a guest. We would love to have you spill the tea.
Yes.
Spill the tea. It's kidding me out. All right. So with that said, let's move on to our second topic of the night. Category is business and political. And our taboo word number 2 is ignorance. And with that, Power, take us away through topic number 2.
Well, let's discuss these words: bigotry, racism, and discrimination within marginalized groups. While the attitudes toward the LGBTQ plus community are slowly changing in the Black community, Blacks are still some of the most homophobic group of people. We see that many gays took a very racist stand over the summer of 2020 during the Black Lives Matter protest, and many gays that are anti-trans. So why the ignorance among people that are already marginalized and struggling for equality? Let's unpack it.
All right. So Power wants to know what you're all packing. So with that, let's start at the opposite end of the spectrum, 30 seconds each, and then we'll open up the floor.
I don't think that I said that, but all right.
And with that said, young Robert, let's unpack. Start off with this topic. Go ahead and go.
Well, as someone who's kind of like been through the system a bit, I've definitely seen a lot of systemic racism from a lot of people, and I feel like a lot of it kind of comes from just kind of trying to like fit in or just trying to like adapt to like what other people are saying or doing and everything like that, and that doesn't make sense to me. I would argue with those people all day, and I'd be like, no, they're on our side. You don't understand. It's the exact same struggle. Yeah, they're just searching for equal rights, and just like us, but there's just this systemic racism in our own community that to me just doesn't make any sense. So,
all right, Taisha, you're up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna speak specifically to like Black people who are queer, being anti-trans. I kind of think it's due to colonialization. White slave masters taught Christianity to Africans. Africans weren't originally anti-trans, because if you think back to the African cultures, they did believe in like third and fourth genders and stuff like that. So I think what happened was some of that ideology was transferred over, and unfortunately we took ownership of it. But if it was a cultural aspect of Black culture, and then the LGBTQ community, the LGBTQ, especially the gay, Black gays and our heterosexual people just ran with it. But I really do have to blame white supremacy and colonialization as to why we think of heteronormativity and breeding above anything else.
All right, Dwight.
Yes. So for me, I will say last summer was definitely an interesting time. I had an aha moment. I never looked at myself as privileged, as I had always looked at myself as just a minority, but taking the moment to realize that there are other people that are struggling for rights that I even have. Understanding that my trans brother and sisters still, are struggling for rights. That my even cisgender women of color struggling, but on top of that, even like my cisgender lesbian sisters are struggling even more. So I think for me, when looking at Ignite, I'm gonna say it's about really taking on the time to learn, because if you do take on the time to learn about someone else, you're educating yourself. And a lot of times we stay ignorant because we don't want to take that time to go out and actually learn about someone else and how I can support them and be open to what they're going through.
All right, Freddie.
I'm going to give a serious answer and then a not so serious answer, because that's pretty much how I am. I'd say the serious answer, this relates to what we talked about a few weeks ago, and that is that this ignorance, or this almost anti-gay, anti-trans culture that we see within the LGBTQ community, I feel, is partially because it's a victim of our success. In other words, in our community, so much has become normalized, not completely, obviously. And I think a lot of these people, a lot of the LGBTQ community, they feel now that everything's fine. And so now they don't have to fight for these types of things. And they somehow have marginalized themselves away from the fact that we have to fight for any minority, especially those within the LGBT community. So the polarization that we see is happening not only with white people and conservative people, but everywhere. Okay, my funny version is this. I love gays, love the gays love me. All gays are great. Are you talking? I'm talking. And I love illegals. I think any eagle that's ill should be allowed.
Can you call my mom? Can you prank my mom?
Oh my God. Go, John, go. I don't know how you're gonna follow that.
I would think that the LGBTQ community reflects across the culture, right? So if you learn poor ideas at home, or you learn poor ideas in the society, then I don't think being LGBTQ suddenly makes you divorced from those ideas. So if you come, if you're racist and you're LGBTQ, you have to unlearn that. And so I think that would be why a lot of the LGBTQ community may still perpetuate those things. I mean, I remember back in the day when pride parades would happen, and there was like normal gays, and then the people who were wearing leather and being all out and everything, and they didn't like each other because half the community wanted things to be normal and half the community wanted to be out and different. So I think that's just normal differences that come across society.
All right, last one, Ty.
A lot of what's been said is what I think. I love that you chose the word ignorance, because inherently there's nothing wrong with being ignorant. It just means that you don't know. The problem is when you wallow in it, when you accept it, and when you don't move on from it. I think Dwight actually touched on that. But the reason that we kind of stick to this is because we're stuck in this kind of Western dualistic thinking where it has to be one thing or the other. We can't compartmentalize something that we haven't experienced. We can't put it in a box. And if we can't put it in a box, we can't control it. So we're afraid of it. So part of that problem is, we're unwilling to readjust our thought process and our acceptance process.
All right, so open forum. We went a little bit over the time, but open forum. Who else wants to jump in?
Yeah, let me, before we go into the open forum, let me just reset this for a second. I think that, I don't know if everybody realizes this, and if you do, then excuse me, but when I say ignorant, I don't mean ignorant as far as, because you're racist, you're ignorant, or because you're transphobic, you're ignorant. I mean ignorance in the sense that you are actually ignorant, being that you are discriminatory, bigoted, or racist, or prejudiced against another minority group that either you are part of, or the fact that you yourself are struggling and still oppressed while oppressing others. That's the ignorance I'm talking about. The fact that you are not even in a position to be oppressing anybody, and you are. The fact that we have gays in our community, like I saw the other day, a gay child put up a post that said, I will vote for trans women to be athletes if trans people decide to stay off of Grindr. Like, you're saying things that are transphobic and not realizing that your entire rights and privileges that are afforded to you today came from trans people. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we have blacks, we had a whole Black Lives movement last summer where people, gays included, were marching for black rights. Okay, blacks are still being persecuted, and yet they'll turn around and they will persecute and oppress and discriminate against gays, who then turn around and will march for black rights. I mean, we're all in a struggle. We're not even in a position to be lambasting or denigrating anybody. We're the ones being oppressed, yet we still feel that we are that fab that we can oppress others. And that's the ignorance that I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, I think that there's a lot of self-loathing gays or self-loathing black people, and they don't like the fact that they're black, or they don't like the fact that they're gay culturally. And so the power dynamic that develops is that they want to put other people down to bring themselves up. They're ignorant to the fact that by putting other people down, you're not bringing yourself up. All you're doing is, you know, making yourself look bad and putting other people down. And the ignorance we have to get over is teaching everyone to bring everyone up, right? So I think that, you know, I see a lot of that in the gay community where they don't really want to be gay. They hate what it is to be gay, but they can't fight the fact that they are gay, and they don't know how to deal with it. And so they put they put gays down, even though they are gay. It really makes no sense.
I also feel like it's due to a lack of relatability. When we talk about intersectionality, it is about being able to relate to someone who may not share the same identities as you. So when we talk about trans people, a lot of gay people feel, and lesbians as well, because there's a reason that, you know, if they are not one of them and they can't be sexually attracted to them, then there is no relatability, and therefore that fight is not their fight. So we have to be able to find some commonalities, even outside of the issue of ignorance, because at this point it's not ignorance, it's just fear. It's like, oh, you're not fuckable, so I don't really know who you are, and therefore I have to vote against your best interest because it obviously I don't need it, and therefore no one else needs it. So again, when we talk about these kind of subjects, whether you're a queer black person or a white gay person, male or queer, lesbian or bi, we have to find those commonalities. If one of us is disenfranchised, then we need to understand that all of us are still disenfranchised. We are all LGBTQ under that umbrella.
Preach it. Preach it.
I thought, John, you brought up a really good point, I think, and that is, and everyone, I think, talked about it, the self-loathing aspect, which you see in many minority communities, and especially in the gay community, is something that I think is a problem. And an example of that would be, you know, I have many friends who they'll tell me, well, look, I'm homosexual, but I'm not gay. Have you ever heard that before?
Oh, yeah.
I'm attracted to the same sex, but I'm not attracted to the traditional mainstream gay culture. I don't act effeminate. I don't listen to Lady Gaga, all that type of thing. And I think John made a really good point. It's okay if you're like that, if you separate that, but to put down other members of the gay community because they act differently from you, that stinks everyone, the homosexuals, the gays, both of them. And I think that's the self-loathing point. It was a very valuable one.
But the racism runs deeper than. So what you guys are talking about and pointing to is an actual awareness of, for example, putting somebody down. When you put somebody down, you're actually aware that you're putting somebody down. You might justify it, but you're actually aware that you're doing it. But there's other aspects of discrimination that we see in our gay culture that we don't even realize. A lot of us don't, we see it every single day, but it's so systemic that we don't even realize. Example number one, whenever you go to or open up a Hotspots magazine or whatever your local fag rag is, and you see an ad for a club, most times the ad that you see that is being perpetuated out there is white gay boys, circuit parties, white models, clubs, white models. Across the board, it's just that's just a general look. And actually, we don't even realize it. It wasn't until recently that I actually opened my eyes and I said, why is every single ad, all the models look the same? And by doing that, we unwittingly and unknowingly, as a community, perpetuate this idea that the standard of beauty is this. Not Asian, not brown, not black, white. And it's not something that people do even consciously to say, oh, I'm doing this to be nasty or to be evil. It's just so ingrained in our culture that white is right and white is the best that we don't even think about it. These are things that I look at and I say, these are signs that we really still have a struggle within our community when it comes to race. And it's ignorant of us to still, as a community that's shouting inclusion and diversity, still have these issues within and among us.
It's unfortunate that, I mean, I look at it like an onion and there are different layers to being within our community. And I think based on your layer, a lot of times we are just so focused on our struggle that we don't think of other people who have less than. And it's about opening your mind and actually being a human and relating to someone else and see, like, legit had an aha moment last summer where I was like, wow, you're actually privileged compared to so many other people within our community. And I wanted to do better. I wanted to be better. And I think we all need to have that self-realization of how can I be better? What can I do to help our community and uplift it? And more people need to do that because so many people in the community, honestly, are selfish. And they're not, even once they have the realization, they stay in ignorance and they don't do the work to be better and do better.
All right. And with that, we are at time. So I guess Dwight got the last word now. So round of applause for topic number 2. Again, you know, if you want to keep the conversation going on social media, please feel free to message our host and they will gladly write back to you. All right, we are going to have a little bit of fun in honor of Amber. Who likes the big D here? Anybody who likes the big D?
I'm afraid of the big D. I'm afraid of it.
Let me just take a quick second out to say hey to Atlas Marshall. She is a beautiful trans woman, and she was actually one of my Queen of the Night winners, and the host of Queen of the Night for a couple years. So hey, Atlas, thanks for joining us.
Hey girl, hey. All right, so this is our segment where it's Mortal Kombat, size versus matter, facts versus fake news, lead host versus host. This could be a discussion or debate, but in the end, our hosts need to make a decision and explain why. Prepare to find out who knows our lead host best during our next segment we like to call the Big D. All right, so who thinks they know power best? Oh, damn, crickets. Crickets up in here. All right,
Young Robert.
Never heard of her. Never heard of her.
He tried her. All of our hosts are going to get up to 3 minutes to discuss and or debate over 5 different categories, but ultimately make a decision between 1 or 2 answer choices and explain why. Afterwards, we will bring our lead host back into the room to see if you made the right decisions, find out who is the weakest link, and see if you may or may not be asked to play a round of Taboo at Power's house for game night. So, everybody say bye to Power.
Bye. Bye.
All right, so Power's going to be backstage. She's going to be enjoying a complimentary cocktail provided by herself. So tonight's Big D game asks all of us, the power of taboo, what would Power do? All right, so let's see who knows Power first. Dwight, if you could go ahead and write down the answers, please, because you look like you got a pen and a paper there on you. All right, so it's going to be 5 questions, and let's see who knows Power best. All right. Get this up. All right, Power's going to be keeping track backstage. All right, everybody sees it. All right, Big D. All right, the power of taboo. What would Power do? All right, so here is taboo word number 1, porn. Would Power like softcore or
Hardcore.
Ooh. Hardcore, yeah.
I'm going to say softcore.
I would say neither, but if we had to pick between the two, softcore.
I agree.
I'm gonna say soft.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go softcore. I feel like back in the day he could have seen hardcore. Now he's more softcore.
Wait, so who? Let me see who's saying
Power's
what.
old?
Softcore, Robert.
Okay. Who else is saying soft? I got Taisha. Anyone else?
I'm soft right now. After a blue pill, I'll be very hard.
All right, this is rapid fire round today. All right, moving on. Taboo word number 2 is spanking. Is power for child rearing or against child discipline?
Child rearing, for sure.
Power spanks.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We're talking children
Spanks.
here, not grown men. Children.
Oh, I
Oh,
got confused.
never mind.
No, power spanks, period.
Full stop. I said what I said.
I'm gonna
Power
say,
spanks with her words, with her hands.
I'm gonna say rearing. I think he likes to rear it.
Is everyone saying rear? I think we
No,
all right?
I'm
No.
gonna go. I'm against
I
it.
went.
I'm gonna go against.
Me too.
She's got to be different.
All right, Ty, and who else is going against? John, okay.
John. All right. Taboo word number 3, acronym. Would power be about adding more letters to LGBT or keep it short and sweet and just keep it LGBT? Tough one. We got LGBTQQIAAP or just simple LGBT. What would power choose?
Adding more.
Yeah, I would say adding more.
Yeah,
I'm going to say keeping it simple.
I'm gonna go with adding.
Me too.
I'm gonna go adding. But I think
And
power
I
would
am
add
all
it up
alone.
into some like incredible. Power is so like. Power to me is very powerful. I mean, that's a perfect. Intimidating.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Power's already on her 3rd cocktail backstage while you children play this game.
I'm just
so.
like enamored, impressed by power. Like I don't want to upset power. So whatever happens,
As you shouldn't.
put me on the winning team.
All right. Taboo word number 4, taste. Would power choose a perfectly in shape nice guy or a slightly out of shape asshole guy?
Slightly out of shape asshole guy.
That's a hard one.
A tough one. These answers are not. These answers, I don't.
He told us on the one show he was on that the attitude made all the difference. That was
Yeah, I got to go with
the
nice
person.
guy.
So the attitude, what do you guys think? The attitude.
I don't think he liked the nice guys. I think he liked the.
Yeah, I agree. I think an asshole.
I'm gonna go with the asshole.
So it's more
Power-
about the
No, I'm
personality.
gonna do nice guy. Yeah.
So it's not about the body; it's about the personality.
I'm gonna go with personality.
I'm a horrible secretary, FYI. I'm trying to make this happen.
Well, I'm going more for the nice guy in terms of like he wants to have like a nice person instead of just like a complete asshole, something like that. It's not really the attitude. I don't know. The asshole is like someone that's ignorant or something, in my mind at least. We'll see.
All right, so that's
All
John.
right. Cutesy cutesy. Final taboo word, celebrity. Now, would power take a free ticket to a superstar concert or would rather go on a vacation with friends?
Oh, this is easy.
So she can go to any
Vacation.
concert in the world, any artist for free,
Mhm.
or go on a vacation with friends.
He's gonna do vacation.
Any ticket in the world. Her number one celebrity for free.
That watched this 2 weeks ago, Power was very not impressed by celebrities. So I'm gonna say, go with the uncelebrity friends. Now watch him like go with celebrities.
Right.
I'm going to go with the
I like-
vacation as well.
That's
Yeah.
Tina Turner in that
I
picture
got
right there.
friends.
Vacation here
That is
too.
Tina.
Vacation here too.
All right.
I'm going to say concert. I'm going to be different.
By the way, if the vacation looks like that picture, hell yeah. That isn't Disney. That isn't Islands of Adventure with your cousin. That looks like a fun one.
I was on that vacation last weekend at the Eagle.
Oh. Oh
Yeah.
my. Oh my.
All right, power. The children think they know you.
Hey, oh, am I back?
Oh, you back, Power. You back. The children think they know you.
I couldn't see because I was at the bottom with that thing screening across my face.
Oh.
So I couldn't see. But yeah. So yeah. it's apparently very few of the children know me.
All right, so let's take this through real quick. And the power of taboo. So taboo word number 1, porn. Final answer, Dwight, was?
Wait. Hello? Can you see me in my hair? Okay.
Yeah.
For soft core, so okay, for soft, Taisha, Robert, and myself said soft, and for hard,
And me.
wait. See, I'm a horrible secretary. And Freddie, and then for hard, Ty and John.
Okay. Well, Ty and John know me the best when it comes to this, I guess. Definitely, I am a hardcore type of bitch. Slap me around, choke me out, call me Susan. That's me.
My name is not Susan.
Okay, so
That's an
who's getting
obscure
the
Whitney
chop?
reference. Sorry.
Who got the chop? Who got the
Well,
chop?
I guess everybody except for Ty and John.
Yeah, so Ty and John.
So only Ty and John are invited to Taboo Game Night. All right.
See,
So-
Freddie, I tried to help you out.
All right, spanking children, not grown men. Final answer of the group was what, Dwight?
I didn't do well on this one. So have to say again.
Well, Allison says no spanking for power and hardcore. Sounds like Allison knows power.
I
It
said
sounded
spanking.
like a lot of people went with 1. I picked 2. I don't know who else went with 2.
I picked rearing.
I think the majority picked child rearing, and I think the everybody that picked child rearing knew me on this one. I'm very outspoken. I'm an old school. I believe in a good old fashioned 1970s belting.
Right.
Once in a while.
I also, just to clarify this though, Power, I also don't think you're abusive.
Yeah, neither.
Like many people confuse child rearing. With
Yes,
being
and I
abusive. Think it's the
and I
same
want to
thing.
make that clear. I'm not. First of all, I was an abused child. My father did not child rear us. He child abused us. So I don't believe in that, and I actually only believe that there's a certain age to which that will even be effective. So
Right.
I believe in a little, spanky when a child is of a certain age that that might work, so he knows this is good, this is bad. After a certain age, when they come to an age of realization and maturity, it's better to talk it out and to reason. So
right now the
So I think
controversial
Taisha
one.
and John were the only two that said no spanking, right? Yeah.
I said rearing, child rearing.
All right. So taboo word number 3. Who knows power best? Did you guys said add more letters or keep it short and sweet?
So for add more letters, I got Taisha, Robert, Freddie, Ty, and myself.
And
Right?
John.
No,
John
no,
was
no.
in there.
I'm on the short. And
Well, the
sweet.
voice of reason says short and sweet. So
Okay.
what did the team say?
Team said number 1.
Yeah, team next to number 1. Yeah. Add.
Power, what say you?
Well, what say I is clearly you guys have never watched me on this show for the last 3 years, and it's happening out or this show. I'm very outspoken. I really do not believe in the alphabet soup. I think that it's not that I have a problem with the inclusivity. My thing is, I think that there's a better way for us to include everybody without having to say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, and include the alphabet soup. So I'm in all for shortening it. Personally, I like to use the acronym SAGA, SAGA, which means sexuality and gender acceptance. And I think that if we were to change to that would solve a whole bunch of problems, but to each his own.
All right. Taboo word number 4, taste. Power going for that perfectly shaped nice guy, that slightly out of shape asshole.
All right, so for nice guy, I got probably wrong. Ty and Robert.
Me too.
And Freddie.
Everybody else,
Dr. Ty
everybody
or
else
Ty
said
Taisha
asshole.
Ty?
So
Dr.
Power,
Ty.
what say you, Power?
And
No,
everybody
Taisha.
else.
Yeah. For out of shape asshole, everyone else, she said. Was that the
No,
answer?
I was out of shape. I was for the out of shape asshole guy.
Yeah, I have Taisha for out of shape asshole guy. I have Dr.
I actually didn't answer this.
Oh, really?
All right. Well, Power's going to clarify for you all.
Well, I want to hear what Ty's answer is.
Oh.
Well, I don't like the in shape, out of shape quality of this question.
Uh-huh.
Well, I would go for basically. Would I go for somebody that looks like a paragon of manhood, or somebody that doesn't, but is an asshole? So is that a better way of phrasing it, Ty?
Maybe. I don't know you that well. I got all the other answers right so far.
I'm trying to corner Ty. Okay, so I would definitely go for the slightly out of shape but asshole guy. I think that somebody that is a little bit of a cocky asshole or a dick is actually a turn on to me.
Yes, I like a charming asshole too. Mm.
Yeah.
Nobody puts Ty. Nobody puts Ty in a corner.
Advertising.
Nobody puts Ty in a
Fuck
corner.
you, power. Fuck you, power.
All right, last one.
Go.
Everyone said friends trip, I believe, except me. I said concert. So.
Well, you were clearly not here the last 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I would definitely take a vacation with friends over a concert any day. As a matter of fact, I remember when I was living on South Beach, Madonna had come to perform, and somebody had made the mistake of giving me a ticket, child, and I threw that ticket right in the garbage.
For who? What was it for? For who?
Madonna.
Or you could have resold it. You could have sold
I
it.
know everybody said that, and I really should have, but it was like the night of, and I didn't have,
Look whose face you just scarred for life. Look at it.
I guess
we didn't have social media for me to like
White is
Facebook and
well, I guess you didn't read that scripture in the Bible.
Oh no. Oh my Lord.
I just lost all respect.
I think if Madonna hears this, she's gonna fall in love with you though, because she likes assholes who throw her tickets away.
but you guys would be. I'm happy to know that if I'm your friend, Dwight, and and everybody else, if I'm your friend, then I am the type of person that I would choose you over Madonna any day.
And I'm the one on a trip that's gonna be like, you came on this trip and didn't go see Madonna, girl? Why didn't you tell me? I don't know all y'all.
Lord. All right, so Power, who knows you best out of this group?
Apparently, don't nobody know me.
All right.
I got all of them right except for the one that I didn't answer. I'll just say that.
All right.
The Power got me right the other week.
But the moral of the story is never have Dwight do this again.
I'm glad you said it, Dwight. All right, and with that said, we are at our final topic of the night, topic number 3. This is our roundtable discussion, so it's going to be 1 minute for everybody and just one and only 1 minute to talk before I ring the bell. And we move on to our next host. So category is personal story or experience. And our taboo word is WAP. And I'm going to let Power explain to you about WAP.
Well, this one should be a fun one. Let's talk about WAP. Let's chat about what I call the WAP dialogues. Conservative pundit Candace Kane, a.k.a. Candy, and Cardi B have been going back and forth. Well, actually, last week they were going back and forth and beefing over the morality and the performance of Cardi's song WAP. For me, as a DJ and a performer, I myself have sucked enough dick on stage and suffered enough backlash from it, literally, to understand Cardi's position. But the question is, do conservatives actually have a valid point when they talk about the erosion of morality in our society thanks to songs like WAP, or is it hypocrisy on their part? Cancel culture in general, is it good? Is it bad? Does it serve a purpose? What do we think?
All right, so this is going to be our round table discussion. We're going to go around the room. Everyone's going to get exactly 1 minute and 1 minute only. And let's go ahead and start with Taisha. So the WAP dialogues. Ready and go.
Okay, 1 minute. Black women have every right to express their bodies in any way they can, considering that they were used as breeders by colonizers and white slave masters. So this is just a way for us to empower ourselves and take back our own bodies in a way that allows us to make the decisions
I'm in Dallas.
ourselves. And unless they are being
I'm in
sex
Texas. I'm in
trafficked,
Dallas.
there should be no reason why that they shouldn't do whatever they want with their body. So, and Cardi was right. She was doing it for an adult audience. And if you are that embarrassed about your body and your sex life, then that is a you thing that deserves a therapist. But you should not be projecting your own sexual insecurities on a demographic to the Black women who are doing everything in their power to reclaim their own bodies for themselves.
All right. Freddie, you're up.
Well, I'm going to try to give you a serious answer and then another stupid answer. I'm going to have to claim old white guy privilege here because I don't really know much about Cardi B and I don't really know much about that song. But I would think that every artist, as an artist, I think you should have the right to bring up controversial topics, and especially if they're relevant in society, and especially to your particular culture or group. And so there's been many examples of many artists through time who have brought up in their artwork something that's controversial, that stimulates conversation, that might even go against many people's ideas. So that's my comment on that. And then I'll finish with this. I think WAPs are great people. I love WAPs. I married a WAP. She's very good looking. She's got big tits and I love her. So WAPs are good. Go for it. Cardi B, you're fantastic. I don't know what color you are, but I love you. Good job.
Oh Lord!
Oh my God.
Let's bring Ty up to the plate. Go Ty.
Well, okay, so this entire dialogue is the result of kind of right-wing control over art and self-expression. They have taught us shame and they have taught us hate over our bodies, over our sexuality, over anything. It goes back through history, even a long time through history. But you know, when we had the ratings that were supposed to be added to music in the 80s and early 90s, and it comes up through to today because what the right is doing is trying to shame and pressure artistic expression from doing what it is it's supposed to do. So what's artistic expression going to do? It's going to overcome that every time, and it's going to come back across and it's going to say, F you, I'm going to do it anyway. So do I want my niece listening to this song? Probably not. But should this song exist in the world? Absolutely.
All right, John, you're up.
My opinion is that the song is about female sexual domination of males, and it's provocative on purpose to show power and strength, no fear. So I think it's good that our, art and our society explore the female sexual domination, and who knows what we might find as we go down that line. So I think it's good for, is it good for society in the long run? I mean, there's only one way to find out, and that's to try it out.
All
What
right.
I just heard there was John saying he's ready to try out white ass pussy.
Oh.
Or wet ass pussy, sorry.
Wet
All right, young Robert, go.
I absolutely love this song. I love it to death. Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B did so good with it. But I'm back and forth because on one level it over sexualizes it's like aimed towards children, it seems like, and there's a difference between embracing yourself and there's a difference between just kind of sexualizing yourself, because I'm afraid that these young women these girls that are 11, 12 years old who are so impressionable, they're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want to be, because they're looking for role models, and that's kind of what they might latch on to. So I also agree with Ty 100%. I mean, I love it, but I don't want my niece to see it. But oh my God, I love this song so much. I pretty much have the whole song memorized. I can rock it out right now if you want.
Do you know how to do the dance?
Oh God, no. Although I've tried.
Oh.
You just gotta twerk a little bit.
All right, someone who knows how to turn it. Dwight, tell us about the WAP.
Okay, so music has always been vulgar. They just hit it under a nice beat back in the day. Like, if you really listen to the lyrics, like, as an adult, I listen to music my parents listen to, and I'm like, wait, are you really singing this song about this woman that stole somebody's husband? Like, seriously? So she's just being empowered with her body. So, I mean, I'm all for it. I think the beat is hot. I think the song is great. I think now that artists are a lot more vulgar with things, but music, honestly, has always pushed the envelope, and music's always gone there. We just honestly hit it behind a nice beat, to be honest. So that's my little 2 cents.
All right. And before Power gets into it, so I guess the thread I'm kind of seeing is there a difference between her saying her message and being the role model for children? Because I saw there was a comment about role models should be the parents, not celebrities and things like that. So Power, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, you know, in a utopian world, that would be so. But I mean, come on, we live in a practical world and a real world. And the fact of the matter is that you cannot simply divorce yourself from being a role model for kids simply because you proclaim and declare that you don't want to be. You know, I will, this is amazing that I'm even going to say this, that I will give the conservatives that much. You know, they are right when they say, well, Cardi B, you're a role model for our kids. And I do believe that parents should be the role models, and it's really up to parents, not Cardi, to raise their kids. That being said, you cannot divorce yourself from the fact that anybody that has a platform, whether it's Cardi B, Beyonce, Rihanna, Madonna, Gaga, whatever, they are automatically put into that position of a role model simply because of who they are. But here's where the hypocrisy comes in. For me, it's hypocritical of anybody to any conservative or any, let me just say, Trump supporter like Candy to talk out and speak out and give this fake umbrage and this fake outrage, because bitch, you are the same one. Okay, you are the same one that had no problem with, you have a problem with wet ass pussy, but you don't have a problem with grabbing by the pussy. You see what I'm saying? That don't make no sense to me. Make it make sense. If she was consistent, okay, if she was a consistent bitch and said, okay, I don't see this and I don't see that, okay, I ain't got nothing to say. But so when
Power, the comment that Allison's put in, do you agree about on national television about making it that open in public?
It shouldn't have been on live national TV where children were watching. But here's the thing. It was on live national TV. You knew she was performing. It wasn't a surprise performance. It wasn't a pop-up performance. They advertised and they said, performances by blah, 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 Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. So you knew when Cardi B and Megan was coming on, you know they wasn't coming up there to sing, Old Rugged Cross. They was coming up there to sing the hit song WAP. So at that point was when, as a parent, you should say, okay, this is not something that I want my child to see, period. You know, remember, back in the days, Elvis Presley was looked at as very provocative as well. And all he did was shimmy his hips.
And gyrate.
So, right. So we're always going to have provocative artists that are going to push the envelope. It is up to parents and it's up to society to protect their kids from that which they don't want to be seen.
So is Cardi B a celebrity, Howard?
I would think so. Obviously, we're talking about her. So
would you go on vacation with her?
No, I would hang out with my friends here on Gay Town Hall.
I just think it's interesting that when we have these conversations, men are centered in this conversation to make a decision of how women should talk about themselves and their bodies and their sexuality, when it really should be left up to the women. And if parents don't want their kids seeing these people like role models, then maybe parents need to be better parents and educate their kids on sexuality and what is and is not consensual, first of all, so to eradicate rape culture in the first place. So, like, I'm tired of them, like, giving their job away to other people when they're just not doing their own due diligence and protecting their own kids and talking that sex is a more taboo topic than talking about gun policy. So that's just where I'm at with the subject.
Do you think it's possible that parents could actually keep their kids from seeing Cardi B's song if they tried? I mean,
no.
Don't you think?
Impossible.
We're talking about religion. I was a former ex-preacher's kid. I was not allowed to watch secular music growing up. And if you go on the YouTube channel, there is this other of teen boys who literally all they do is make videos of their reactions to all of these R&B and rap music that they never got to listen to until they were 21 and out of their grandmother's house. So it's absolutely possible to be raised as a sheltered kid away from secular and worldly music. So again, this is a lack of due diligence and discipline on the part.
Yeah, I agree with Taisha on that. I was the same way. I was raised like that too. So,
Excuse me, Mike Wallace. Power mentioned that I don't like put that I grab pussy. I grab all pussies, blue pussy, red pussy, all pussy.
That's ready. All right. So we've come to the end of our show, which means we're going to find out the results for our Gay Town poll. So what do you guys think ended up pulling out and as the winning answer? Anyone?
I say cannibalism.
Yeah,
I chose
cannibalism, me too.
I think it's kind of genetically taboo.
What?
All right.
It's
Let's
probably
find out.
suicide. It's probably suicide. That's what people would probably say, I would think.
No, but like the Vikings, that was I mean, you were supposed to.
No, I'm saying.
And the winner.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right.
I wish this thing would get out my face, child. Y'all can't see me, but yeah, all right.
So the word taboo comes from the Polynesian word tabu, which generally means unacceptable or prohibited. The definition of taboo varies according to region, religion, and society. Hence, some practices could be considered taboo in one society, while could be considered mere moral acts in another. Still, in some other societies, it may be considered normal. Also, many taboos are illegal, though not all. So cannibalism was actually, well, there's a tie. Cannibalism and incest, followed by another tie between abnormal sexual relationships, corpse, food and drink, and suicide. So you guys think it's more cannibalism or more incest?
I would say more cannibalism because I mean, right here in our own country, you have a lot of bitches that like to have ancestral, stuff going on. But I think universally, people just don't eat people. That's just a fundamental. People just don't eat people.
Oh,
Let's see what the actual survey said. So let's go ahead and find out what people in America thought. So where are you at?
probably incest.
The top 10 taboos in the world. All right. So the last one on the list was bodily functions.
Unfortunately, too many people don't think that's a taboo.
Interracial sex and interreligion marriage, number 9. Number 8 was food and drink. I was a little surprised this was on the list, but I get the point they were trying to make here. Eating carnivorous animals. Andy, where you at? Where you at? Corpses. Suicide. Murder. We're getting to the top ones. Abnormal sexual relationships. Incest.
Oh.
That means cannibalism was number 1. So you guys actually were correct.
We got it right.
Right. That's right.
What do you guys think? They got it right?
They got it right.
I think they got it right. Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not incest because so many young guys, when I have sex with them, they call me daddy. I don't.
Oh, Freddie. All right, so we're here at the end of our show, so it's time to get a good night of America from everyone. So let's get a good night from the beautiful Taisha.
Hey everyone, good evening. Thank you for flying with us on the show. I just want to say, if you're gonna be a parent, be open, be honest, but don't be obtuse.
All right, a good night from Dwight. Are you on mute, Dwight?
You're muted.
Sorry. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, you are in charge of creating your own greatness. So why not create something fabulous?
All right, and a good night from Ty.
Peace out, bitches.
Short and sweet, Ty. Short and sweet. All right, good night from John.
Good night, everybody. I'm off to watch the leather puppies in their mosh pit.
Ooh. Are you going to adopt any?
I don't know. We'll see.
And a good night from the big dog, Freddie.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to put on my leather pup suit.
Oh. So John, you will be the owner. Perfect.
Very
And good night.
adaptable. Very adaptable.
A good night from young Robert. Robert did such a good job. Woo!
Yay, young Robert!
So, irregardless, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in, and have a great night. Bye.
All right. Now give a huge queen round of applause for Miss Power Infinity, everybody.
Thank you.
Legendary, I say. Legendary.
Thank you. Oh, it's my turn?
I know.
You're on camera, Power. You're
Do
on camera.
the children get a good night, Power?
Good night.
Just keep applauding.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for listening to our TED Talk. And of course, be sure to join us here every single Thursday at 8 o'clock.
All right. And I am your Social Club Butterfly moderator, David Quiñones, and we want to wish you a good night and for joining us, and tune in next week for our next Gay Town Hall.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.